Hello, this is me, Annika Angelo, and Kendall Dorsey is here as well to help present our cybersecurity centralized platform presentation.
Hello.
So, overview of this presentation is we're going to show you the site pictures, we're going to tell you what the system is, what it needs to do, how it's built, and our core functionalities. We're going to walk through the system a little bit, talk about what we had to face and overcome, some problems we had as well, our insights and final thoughts, and we'll have our sources in the end. To start, what is the system? It's basically just our task management system. It's a web-based dashboard designed to organize and display all the cybersecurity intelligence, like all in one place. It centralizes three main things: the threat intelligence, vulnerability data, which are CVEs, and cybersecurity news articles from multiple sources. And users can search, filter, and browse security information quickly through an intuitive interface. The goal of the platform is to help analysts like IT professionals, security researchers, and basically anyone who wants to stay informed about emerging threats and vulnerabilities that are up to date. And this information, putting it into a single platform, it helps reduce information overload and improves awareness of cybersecurity risks as well.
So the front end of our website was built using React. I just went through the documentation and followed through with its structure. So you have components, the source folder, and pretty much any of the CSS, along with the index.html. So this is really unique because React allows you to implement JavaScript within HTML, and that makes for really unique features that reflect onto our project.
Mm-hmm.
So the system needs to, centralize cybersecurity intelligence, and this includes threats, vulnerabilities, and news into one platform that is easily accessible. It needs to retrieve and store that data in a place that's persistent and won't delete itself after a shutdown. It also has to allow users to search and filter that data to quickly find any relevant information that they may need. The platform also displays information in a user-friendly format, and that could be data tables, well, mostly data tables, and some are some cool images that I found. But I realized that pagination and filtering is needed because some of the data sets are really large, and the system load is decreased when databases are indexed through pages. And finally, an API is needed to retrieve and process that data so that the three layers can communicate with each other effectively. The system was built using a 3-layer architecture, just using a front-end, back-end, and an API. The front-end was developed using React, CSS, and JavaScript, and those 4 technologies handle the forward-facing operations with regard to the user. The API was developed using C# and the ASP.NET Core, and this handles communication between the front end and the database, and it can also create queries that can be generated to send to that database. The database layer uses MySQL to store cybersecurity data, and also system logs. The system mainly used HTTP requests and JSON responses to communicate with the front end and back end. JSON came in handy with any sort of data normalization or error codes, and some additional tools were Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio, and Node.js.
Mm-hmm. To walk through the system, MySQL was the backend system used for persistent data storage. It was also accepted queries from the API. It's responsible for populating the tables within datatable.jsx. At the API level, C#.NET Core API handled communication between the front-end layer and the back-end layer. The API sends queries to back-end, and the SQL server responds with the data. The React framework is used for its responsive user interface, and development in React was simple and needed minimal experience to maintain. What we overcame in general was limited experience with the technology stack that required a lot of time learning documentation and a lot of debugging as well. We had some time constraints during our development, and it made it a lot more difficult to implement all our planned features. Debugging errors and formatting issues were also a problem. It was a problem across the front end, back end, and database as well. We had a lot of difficulty gathering and normalizing threat intelligence data, especially working with MITRE data and STIX formats. But to address the issues, the system was adjusted to include key threat information while maintaining the core functionality.
Insights from the development process. Developing this platform, you learn a lot about full stack development, and you learn why these fields are separated and how people specialize in these fields. We had a very basic understanding, and we have a very basic, platform. But these can get really complex, and it's encouraged us to learn more about this field and how we can improve on it leading on into our careers. We worked with real cybersecurity data. We collected data from various different organizations and websites and normalized it with Python, and it all just came together really nicely. And I think that's the beauty behind this project.
It was definitely tiring, but it was worth it. We are happy the site is working as well, and we wish we kind of had a little more time to build upon the project. But we have 3 sources below. And thank you.
Oh, thank you.